Good morning, everybody. In previous class, we were discuss about the factors affecting for solubility of solute in solvents. Which factors are affected for the solubility of solute in solvents? First, nature of solute and solvents, that can be discussed. First factor. Second factor, effect of temperature on solubility of solid in liquid solid, that can be also discussed. How to affect the temperature? For that purpose, we have to discuss by using the graphical representations. In that graphical representations, some salts which can be affected by the temperature and appreciably its solubility is increases. Then some other salts, its solubility increases slowly with increasing temperature. And the salt like Na2SO4, sodium sulfate, its solubility can increases first of all and then decreases. So all these types of examples are seen by effect of temperature on solubility of solid in liquid solvent. Third factor, that is important factor also. Third factor is the effect of pressure on solubility. What is the effect of pressure on solubility of gases in a liquid solvent? This question, see again. Why? First of all, see the effect of pressure on solubility. Effect of pressure on solubility. Generally, pressure cannot be affected on solids and liquids. Which solids? Solids and liquids. Because solid is very hard. When the pressure is applied, then it does not affect it. Because solids and liquids are incompressible. There is no any effect of pressure. So first point is what? Pressure has no effect. Pressure has no effect on solubilities of solids and liquids. If we can take on the solutes like the solids and liquids, then it cannot be affected by the pressure. Why? As they incompressible. Solids and liquids are generally incompressible, hence it has no effect of pressure. No effect of pressure. Then only gases are remains. Solids and liquids are not affected. Then second point, however, pressure greatly affects on solubility of gases in liquids. Only gases in liquids can be affected by the pressures. Why? Because gases are not incompressible. These are the compressible. Why? Because the constituent particles are present in gases are loosely present. There is very wide side, gaps can be occurs. Therefore, pressure can be affected, greatly affected to the solubility of gases in liquid solvents. Understand this point. The solubility of gases in liquid, increases with increasing pressure. When the pressure increases, then solubility of gases in liquids also increases. Solubility of gases in liquid increases with increasing pressure. The quantitative relationship between solubility of gas in liquid, and pressure is given by Henry's law. How? The solubility of gas in liquid. For example, you know the aerated drinks, Thumbs Up, Pepsi, Coca-Cola. That aerated drinks containing carbon dioxide. That carbon dioxide is dissolved in waters. So this is the example of solubility of gas in liquids. Suppose that carbon dioxide is mixed in that water depending upon the pressure. When pressure is increases, then solubility of that carbon dioxide is increases with increasing pressures. So that can be explained with the Henry's law. And for the board purpose, 2 marks question can be asked to explain Henry's law. Henry's law. Otherwise, explain the solubility of gases in liquid solvents. Explain the solubility of gases in liquid solvent using pressure. Otherwise, explain the Henry's law for 2 marks question. That is very, very important. Okay. So see the first of all, what is Henry's law? What about the Henry's law? Statement: the solubility of gas, solute. The solubility of gas in liquid is directly proportional to the pressure of gas over the solution. Understand? What? The solubility of gas is directly proportional. Solubility of gas in liquid is directly proportional to the pressure over that solutions. That solution shows the pressure. Depending upon that pressure, solubility is directly proportional. If pressure is increases, the solubility increases. If pressure is decreases, solubility is also decreases. So this is a statement of Henry's law. The solubility of gas in liquid is directly proportional to the pressure of gas. This is statement. According to this statement, S is directly proportional to the P. What? S is directly proportional to the P, where S indicates solubility of gas and P is pressure of that solution. If the solution pressure is increases, solubility increases. Solution pressure is decreases, solubility also decreases. So S is directly proportional to P according to the statement of the Henry's law. Very simple. See again. What is the statement? Can write down correctly statement. What is the statement? The solubility of gas in liquid. The solubility of gas in liquid is directly proportional to the pressure over that solution. So S is directly proportional to P is the statement. According to this statement, it carries 1 mark for the statement and 1 mark for the explanation. It is very simple. See the explanation. First point, let S is the solubility of gas. Very simple. S word is indicates for the solubility of gas in moles per liter. This word generally solubility can measures in moles per liter. This is what the given solution containing how much moles, how much concentration of that solution. So, S is the solubility of gas in moles per liter. Second point, P is the pressure of gas. P is the pressure of gas over that solution. That solution having the pressure that can be indicated is the P. P is the pressure of solution. According to the statement, what is the statement? S is directly proportional to P. According to statement, S is directly proportional to P. Whenever this proportionality sign is converted to equal sign, proportionality converted to equal, at that time it gives the constant. That is KH. So therefore S is equal to KH into P, where this KH is the Henry's constant. It is also called as proportionality constant or Henry's constant. So this is the law. It carries 1 mark for the statement and 1 mark for this explanation. Very simple. This 2 marks question can be asked. Its frequency is much more. That can be asked number of times in board pattern. So this is the 2 marks question. This is the limitation for the MCQ purpose. Limitations. We cannot write the limitations in board's question. We have to not require the limitations, but for the MCQs, when MCQ can ask in board as well as in NEET, JEE, CET, anything. What is the and carbon dioxide. Gases like ammonia, carbon dioxide do not obey Henry's law. Carbon dioxide and ammonia do not obey the Henry's law because they have higher solubility. First of all, I can indicate that. What? Generally aerated drinks containing the carbon dioxide. Aerated drinks containing the carbon dioxide. But that cannot be obeys the Henry's law. Why cannot obeys the Henry's law? Because they have higher solubility. Much more solubility. It does not require the pressure. It can dissolve already. Higher solubility than expected Henry's law. Expected Henry's law more than one of the higher solubility. Therefore, it does not obey the Henry's law. Understand? If question may be asked, which of the following gas cannot obey the Henry's law? Cannot obey the Henry's law. Then remind that NH3, ammonia or carbon dioxide cannot obey because its solubility is much more higher. That does not require the pressures. Okay. So this is the effect of solubility of pressure on solubility and the Henry's law. Here the part of solution is completed. We know actually name of chapter is the solutions. But in this chapter is divided into two parts. First is the solutions and second is the colligative properties. In a past syllabus and previous syllabus, old syllabus, name of this chapter is the solution and colligative properties. But recent syllabus cannot be indicated the colligative properties. But actually the colligative properties are participated in this chapter. So see what about colligative properties? We know in chemistry there are number of properties can be occurs like to the physical properties, chemical properties, like that. You know that. Physical property, that is temporary changes of matter. Chemical properties, permanent changes of matter. So what about the colligative properties? Colligative properties of solution. Colligative properties of solution. Which property? Colligative properties of solution. The physical properties of solution. Depends upon number of particles of solute. In solution, but does not depends upon their nature, are called as colligative properties. What? The physical properties of solution. The physical properties of solution. The physical properties of solution depends upon number of solute particles, colligative properties of solution. What about the colligative properties of solution? The physical properties of solution. Depends upon number of solute particles in solution, but does not depends in their nature, but does not depends on their nature, called as colligative properties. The physical properties of solution depends upon number of particles of solute in solution. You know what is solution? the homogeneous mixture of solute and solvents. How much solute particles are present in that solution that can behave the physical properties, that is called as colligative properties. Means what, the number of solute particles can be increased or decreased, then physical properties can change. Generally it depends upon their concentration, then that is called as colligative property. But it does not depends upon their nature. Means what, the nature, that may be solid, liquid or gas of that solutes, it cannot be affected, but it depends upon the number of particles present in that solution are called as colligative property. See the example of that colligative properties. There are 4 examples of colligative properties. Depending upon that, total chapter is running. So first colligative property, vapor pressure lowering. First colligative property, vapor pressure lowering is the first colligative property. Vapor pressure lowering. Second colligative property, boiling point elevation. Boiling point elevation or elevation of boiling point. Elevation of boiling point or boiling point elevation. First, vapor pressure lowering or lowering of vapor pressure. Third, freezing point depression. Freezing point depression is the third colligative property. Lowering vapor pressure, elevation, boiling point, depression, freezing point, and last, osmosis and osmotic pressure. Fourth one is the osmotic pressure. Osmotic pressure are the 4 examples of that colligative property. So first of all, see the vapor pressure lowering or lowering of vapor pressure. What this chapter included 4 colligative properties. First is the vapor pressure lowering, boiling point elevation, freezing point depression, and last one is the osmotic pressure. So first colligative property, vapor pressure lowering. Vapor pressure lowering is the first colligative property. In this colligative property, see the some points one by one. First point, that is vapor pressure of liquid. A. Vapor pressure of liquid. This is very simple definition. Vapor pressure of liquid. When we can take any liquids in a container or vessels, then it can be boils that liquids, then vapors can occur on the upper surface of that liquid and pressure can be exerted of that vapors, that is called as vapor pressure of liquid. Generally, the pressure exerted of vapor, the pressure exerted of vapor on is called as vapor pressure of liquid. Is called as vapor pressure of liquid. Second definition, vapor pressure of liquid, the pressure exerted of vapors on liquid is called as vapor pressure of liquid. Just before I can give in an example, if we can take any liquids and that can boils, then vapors exerted a pressure on that liquid is called as vapor pressure of liquid. Very simple. Vapor pressure of liquid. Then vapor pressure lowering. Next concept. Vapor pressure lowering. Vapor pressure lowering. So what about the vapor pressure lowering? when a non-volatile solute, when a non-volatile solute dissolved in liquid solvent, non-volatile solute dissolved in liquid solvent, the vapor pressure of solution is lowered than vapor pressure of pure solvent is called as lowering of vapor pressure. When a non-volatile solute dissolved in, when non-volatile solute is dissolved in liquid solvent to form the solution, the vapor pressure of solution is lowered than vapor pressure of pure solvent. Vapor pressure of pure solvent is called as vapor pressure of lowering, or lowering of vapor pressure. See again. When non-volatile means what? Those substances cannot be vaporized at room temperature. Those substances cannot be vaporized at room temperature are called as non-volatile. When non-volatile solute dissolved in liquid solvent, the vapor pressure of solution is lowered. When solution is formed, then its vapor pressure is lowered by adding the solvent, by adding the solute in solvent. Then vapor pressure of pure solvent is called as lowering of vapor pressure. Suppose the formula delta P is the lowering of vapor pressure is equal to P01 minus P1. What? P01 minus P1, where P01 is vapor pressure of solvent, pure solvent. P01 is the vapor pressure of pure solvent, and P1 is the vapor pressure of solution. Vapor pressure of solution. So definition by other hands can be also discussed. What? The difference between vapor pressure of pure solvent and vapor pressure of solution is called as lowering of vapor pressure. The difference between vapor pressure of pure solvent and vapor pressure of solution is also called as lowering of vapor pressure. So remember this formula, that is delta P is equal to P01 minus P1. In lowering of vapor pressure, first point is the vapor pressure of liquid, second one is the lowering of vapor pressure. What is lowering of vapor pressure? When non-volatile solute dissolved in liquid solvent to form the solution, then vapor pressure of that solution is lowered or decreased. Then vapor pressure of pure solvent is called as lowering of vapor pressure. Then next, see concept relative lowering vapor pressure. See again, relative lowering vapor pressure, that is called as RLVP. Relative lowering vapor pressure. Relative lowering of vapor pressure. Shortly it is called as RLVP. RLVP, relative lowering vapor pressure. So how to form the definition of RLVP? That is very simple. First of all, in formula RLVP, relative lowering vapor pressure, is equal to what formula? That is delta P divided by P01. This is formula of RLVP. According to this formula, how to form the definition of RLVP? We know delta P is the lowering of vapor pressure and P01 is the vapor pressure of pure solvent. So the ratio ratio of lowering of vapor pressure to the vapor pressure of pure solvent is called as RLVP. The ratio of vapor pressure lowering or lowering of vapor pressure, that is delta P, to the vapor pressure of pure solvent, that is P01, is called as RLVP, relative lowering vapor pressure. So depending upon that, this formula is obtained. By another way, we can also discuss or define RLVP. How? The lowering of vapor pressure divided by vapor pressure of pure solvent. The lowering of vapor pressure divided by vapor pressure of pure solvent is called as RLVP. So all these terms are discussed in this class. Tomorrow we are going to next term.